sit back, poke, and just try and make that work. Like, the identity is clearly there. It's not like last game where, goodness me, the draft put them in such a massive hole.
Yeah, I think you have that difference of approach in the side lanes, but especially kind of that cohesion factor when we're getting into those kind of tussles. But I'm especially interested to see how Ala and FoFo kind of go into Ben and Yagao this time around with some of those switch ups, but as well as Shun on a very much more proactive jungler into Jiejie on the Maokai that we've seen so oppressive.
Yeah, Maokai is a little bit overtuned still. We're on 13-1, don't forget. So Shun with something like this Nidalee. We'll see how this one ends up panning out. Shun and Nidalee, of course, a bit synonymous with one another. But in terms of how the matchup itself should be a bit of an outpacing from Shun in terms of jungle clear, and then we'll see what he can do with that tempo. And again, a lot of poke from all of these lanes, specifically, of course, mid and bot, means that expect to see Shun maybe not even like fully commit to a gank itself, but just kind of show up, throw a couple of spears, and then maybe leave. And of course, if the dive threat is there, they'll just go for it. And it's a lot on, in my mind, EDG and how they potentially answer some of that pressure coming out.
Love to hear the Gyos coming out to fuel this early game fighting we have on the bottom side of the map. Love to hear the crowds getting into it as we are getting into the last games of the day here. The only games played in Shanghai, though, so the crowd's still fresh and ready to go. Should look like a bit of a different start for BLG. Obviously, the switch up of sides themselves, but again, oh my god, no. No, come on, Jamada. That's just not fair. It's just not fair.
No, it's okay. He's still gonna.
It's okay.
He's still gonna clear the jungle in like 3 minutes and.
True. It like, is literally. Hey, you know what? We fight out here. It does get a little help from Ben as well. Getting this top side to bot side jungle path started. We'll see as Jiejie on the other side of that pathway. Okay, maybe to at least focus on Ala or FoFo.
I think for Jiejie. Now, I'm trying to break down this draft in my head, right? And what the win conditions want to be. I think for EDG, some very consistent focus in the top side will actually pay off pretty heavy dividends. I think you've got so much poke, and that's kind of what BLG are getting to entirely. If you get FoFo and Ala to a point where they're just unbearable to deal with, there's not really too much BLG can do about it other than kite back and kind of hope. So we'll see what the focus will be. I think for BLG though, again, and specifically Shun, it's just about supplementing these lanes and ensuring that they're not getting attacked too heavily.
Well, and that's where I want to look into these solo lanes a little bit more. We saw a lot of influence given by the junglers last time, but just in its own right, seeing...
Ooh, hello?
Nah, I guess we're not going to get stuck with solo lanes because this is what we wanted to see from Shun. Go for the aggressive style into Jiejie on the Maokai. We'll be able to press him off of his wolves and take that camp away. Nice stuff for Shun early on BLG.
Yeah, and it's got mid lane priority, so if Shun wants to actually just pass over and go and play
Oh my god, hit by that in the little thing. Oh, I thought, you know, maybe there was going to be the execution.
That's big though, Mazel, because I mean, you can already see Jiejie is protecting it. He's gone all the way down to his Krugs, and actually it was a very interesting path in general from Jiejie. He started Raptors, went up to his living room, and then was going to path back down. And now Shun on top of this red buff. Smite's available for Jiejie, but he doesn't even want to test it, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to, right? Like, you don't want to get over that fight. You're looking at what's happening bot lane. You're okay with where the state of the game for EDG is. You don't want to give any of those leads over. On with the shield, saves his own life.
Huh. Yeah, very close to disaster there for BLG, but they walk it off. No biggie. Odds alright. Nothing to see down there. We'll just take a reset, return back to the bottom side. Shun, after taking away quite a few camps, still has that full bottom side quadrant to himself. Took the skull and now he's here for the bottom side gank.
Shun showing his face. Yeah, he's going to turn right back around. So something here is that we are getting that very aggressive stance from Ala so far in the series. We've had the Fiora, now the Camille. A comfort pick for Ala that's going to be capitalized on by Jiejie coming towards top side. Ben has that ghost pop. He gets knocked back. The hook shot flash to make sure he gets the kill. And there's first blood for Edward Gaming.
Yeah, really, really strong gank here from EDG. They know they have to get their solo lanes ahead. I think this is the correct call. Just send Jiejie up here. There's no flash on Bin because he's running the Ghost. And I will say credit to Bin for actually forcing out any kind of summoner spells in that position, to be honest with you. So getting that out of Arla could mean maybe Shun is vulnerable, or rather Arla is vulnerable to a Shun appearance up in the top side. We'll see whether or not that will end up being played out. As for now, it will be EDG with that 1-kill advantage in a lane where, again, they're going to need it. They're going to want that side lane pressure, and they're going to want a Camille to be super strong to dive in from the side lane and try and get on top of some of these poke champions, which should be scaling up towards the mid game on BLG.
And now for Shun, kind of looking at where this mid lane state is. Yagao having a lot of pressure in mid lane, but their bot lane having some troubles. I do wonder if we see that wrap back around, or if Shun wants to go try to put out a fire that has been started in top side. The grenade does connect, and a little bit of damage back.
Not enough to cause concern though, as the was getting shoved in. A lot of trading in the top side. Bin has, of course, had to reset forcefully. Arla has not spent that first blood gold yet, so we have a lot of extra gold to work with. But mid lane, heavy trades and junglers.
They're just like foaming at the mouth right now. Oh my god, there's so much blood in mid lane. The Shuriken flip does make sure FoFo doesn't get impaled by the spear. Bot lane though, we got some more fighting going down. Elk trying to bait out some of these abilities. Both teams just kind of fighting for their lives down here. The root actually connects a little bit more onto Meiko. Gets the ignite burst down. The piercing arrow not gonna connect.
Yeah, I think Elk had the empowered one. I didn't actually catch the animation. Would have definitely killed Meiko at that much HP. Really nice to just get the sidestep in. But both these bottom laners not really willing to give up any space or pressure, and it means they're trading out quite heavily in their health bars. Shun.
Oh! He can't get it! Oh no! That is doom and gloom.
Wait.
Oh no, leave.
Maybe it's not
then.
doom and gloom. Maybe it's not doom and gloom, Mazel.
It was all part of the plan. All part of the plan.
Holding Cuckoo as a very free kill handed over by Leave, and it's a Sunday, so the donation's actually on Leave. As let's take a look at this.
Dude, should try so. Oh, Meiko, you're too dirty, man.
I mean,
yeah, that's what 8 years on EDG will do for you. That's what a world championship will do for you right there. That's the difference.
Yeah, exactly, man. Meiko's had the HP to survive. Really, really good reactions on the flash away from the pounce flash as well. And yeah, Leave just steps up and kind of feels like giving a kill over to Elk. So good stuff, BLG, for capitalizing on that pretty big blunder. But it doesn't really do anything for the game in terms of overarching, you know, things you'd like to see capitalized on. No objective was taken. Herald wasn't on the map to maybe rotate over to. It's just a flat kill. And Leave even some spells.
So we have the early tier here for Leave, and we have seen this build from Jhin, but not as often, it feels like. But he's not even like the Dark Harvest build or anything. He's got the fleet footwork here. So now Shun back to the other side of the map, back to what really matters. The Shun versus Jiejie matchup, and Jiejie's saplings just kind of doing work right now for him. But that's the difference that I feel like from game 1 to game 2 that we needed to see from Shun. And get him on comfort, get him on something that can be proactive, and he's doing just that on the Nidalee. It's night and day.
Yeah, definitely. He feels a lot more comfortable, doesn't he? I think that's the important thing. He doesn't have a massive CS lead by any means, but he's doing what he needs to be doing. He's where he needs to be. It's a lot of poke damage.
Ouchies.
But yeah, what else can you really expect from a Heim Jhin lane? Top side, Herald is secure.
Open up.
Now that's curtain. Open up.
Oh, blast out. Oh, Elf gets in the way at the last second. That's a, hey, you know, I got you, bro. That's what Elk said. Don't worry. Not even for a moment was that going to kill you.
Never. But you can see
Leave has flash. He was waiting for that fourth shot auto. I love that. I love baiting out that little moment, but not going to find it. It is BLG on the up and up here as they use Rift Herald in mid lane to push in. This almost 30 CS advantage that Yagao has gotten, but Shun gets pushed back into the tower. Perfect execution from FoFo, and he gets the kill back. Yagao gets pushed blast away, and EDG make them pay, and it's with their lives as Yagao tries to get out of here. He does indeed after the flash, very close, but EDG nowhere to capitalize.
Yeah, a Bramble Smash just tickles Yagao on the way out. If that connects, he's definitely dead. But Jhin is punished for dropping the Herald mid. They want to just get the plates. And EDG are there to answer out. Really, really nice from them. We'll get a replay of it all. Herald's down. They're just looking for FoFo. Jiejie haven't done me. Just flashed forward with that twisted advance and not Jhin back. Too much EC. Even a tower shot. Maybe if Alpha Bomb come in, there's a little more of an answer.
Maybe,
but he's always going to die. And Yagao just gets run down. You can just see, as soon as his flash comes in, Bramble Smash, it must have been off cooldown. Just tickles him on the way out. So it doesn't end up being 2 kills, but still they trade out on the Herald gold. Smashes in, it's now Billy wants this.
Oh, dodge out. All out has come through for Ben. Ala needs to get out of there, and Hookshot does deliver him to safety. Yagao getting re-punished in mid lane. No flash this time, buddy. Where's your toothpaste now? As FoFo gets the kill.
FoFo all of a sudden goes from being no kills to 2 kills very quickly as Jiejie just immediately runs back to the mid lane and punishes the flashless Jayce. And even though Jhin's there's just not much he can do. He already eats too much damage. And now FoFo is, again, you know, we said, the focus we wanted from EDG is get the solo laners ahead. Ala got his first blood very early on. Jiejie goes to the mid lane, punishes the overextension for BLG the first time, and then just immediately runs back to mid and punishes Yagao a second time. Nothing he can do about this with no flash. As soon as that twist advance comes in, the Shuriken flip just connects. Even though the knockback is there, FoFo didn't have to use his flash in the initial engagement.
I think seeing FoFo in these kinds of moments, say what you will about what happened to FoFo last year on BLG, right? Like, this has been such a breath of fresh air for EDG, losing their 2 crucial members in Scout and Viper. But having FoFo, a veteran himself, come in and try to fill that mold of Scout and make his own mold. And against his forward team here of last year, against that failed project for BLG, he's stating that I am still that carry.
Yeah, exactly. I think grudge map would be too strong a term. Hello. Gets a hook shot interrupted. I think he'll be fine.
Just sidestepping away there.
Yeah, he'll be alright. He's got the Divine Thunder up. The passive soaked up the tower shot, but there is company coming.
Doesn't get hit by that's a lady with blades on her legs. I don't think you want to fight that one. Now does get that trade back with the spear connecting in the end. And EDG were good positioning around this Rift Herald pit, but it's not spawning for another little while for them. So they'll be taking that Scuttle Crab, get back out on the map, leaving Weave down here to try and pick up some of these plates.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this Jhin build will pan in terms of its damage output that we'll get to see. Because I was quite critical the other day of the Kraken Slayer. I understand the theory, and I can't recall what series or AD carry I was watching off the top of my head because I'm a little bit tired with 5 games. It was doing a lot of work. So you can see how much damage, because of course Muramana just gives you so much flat AD that yeah, if your champion can leverage lethality, which in Jin's case of course definitely can, he's going to be golden. And there is a lot of switchy members on this side of BLG, so it's going to be a very, very potent build as Meiko's probably going to eat a lot of damage.
Oh my might have died! He just destroys Meiko. Calm, cool, and collected, charged up that piercing arrow, then let loose the chains of corruption.
And Leave now just going to get forced away by Jhin. Jhin's just going to stick around, get on top of these Krugs. Leave will do what you can just to dissuade the takedown, but no one on EDG is here to respond to this. The play was so quick from Elk just to find that kill. He will now be rewarded with a play of his own. Leave will have to just take a step back as Elk does this. Finally finds the confidence in the vision. Brief amount of vision he had just lets him know that he has the space to walk back up. And BLG find themselves a bit of an answer on the bomb side.
And I really like the difference, I guess, that we're seeing in the execution of BLG in this game. I think last game, again, there was a lot of that hesitancy from Jhin to get active on the map. This time, there's not that hesitancy. We'll see if Elk can dodge out of all these abilities. Turns out he can. He's got fast feet of his own. And leave. That's so perfect. He throws up like the confused cat. Or the eye cat. I don't know what emote that is.
It's an emote which means confusion.
There you go.
I
Hit the nail on the head.
Herald for BLG. Looks like
Hit the
Shun,
Herald
at
on
the
the
very
head?
least. He hit the Herald on the head with a spear.
Ooh,
But he's
the
being
1v2. He flashes.
Yeah.
He is just this Nidalee. The second activation though, Shun gets away. FoFo going in now, has the perfect execution available. Just waiting, lining up the targets. On is that target. FoFo gets himself another kill.
Oh,
the Nature's Grass connects it. FoFo gets another. No, it actually goes to Meiko. Oh no! EDG! They've just taken out BLG completely. Elk! No! You've stepped too far! Elk! It's hunting season and EDG are equipped with all the hunting rifles. They've even got grenades. They've taken out, they've got shurikens, a double kill for FoFo. And that is just another Rift Herald. The EDG in complete control of this game too.
What have BLG just done, man? They've just chained it in one after the other. I mean, all right, cool. Shun's getting picked off. All right, let him die. Oh, give on life for it. That's fine. Then Shun unfortunately misses the dash over the wall, so you'll see it all unfold. It's just a complete. It's a farce, and I'm not sure why it goes on the way it does. You see, FoFo just commits because why couldn't he? He's got the rest of his team coming back up. But at this point, just leave on to die, right? There's no reason to do anything else. This jump, oh, I think he wanted to go over the wall. It feels like he was a bit rough. And then Yagao goes in, and Yagao immediately dies. And then Bin feels like he has to commit. And then Elf just shows up, and I'm just, Mazel, I'm just a bit confused.
Back to life.
Oh,
we got another team fight. Curtain calls open BLG. The curtains are falling on Bilibili Gaming. FoFo takes out another one, unkilled in the back line, and another, and another, and another. And BLG, they have no hope left.
What just happened? What have BLG just done in the last 100
They've dug themselves about a 6-foot trench, and it's looking like a grave right now, Jamada.
They just dug themselves a big... I guess they just said, you know what? We will go on early. I don't know what to say. All right, let's see how this even unfolds. We were still in the replay originally. They're looking for Jiejie, but unfortunately for them, Arthur just here, double hook shot, and the response is coming from the curtain pool. Why though? 1v5. Yeah, I don't know. Like, you have a poke pump guy. You're not supposed to be fighting. I don't. I'm losing it a bit. I'll take a breath. Mazel, just hold my hand.
Goose So we have a 4,000 gold lead, a little bit more so for EDG here. They're on the map with a 7-0 FoFo on the Akali. The Ala Camille looking dirty as ever in the side lane. Even with some of the catches onto Jiejie, it hasn't mattered enough. And this utility coming out of the bot lane from leaving Meiko is just playing into the strength of solo lanes. That has been the ticket here. We set it up from the beginning, and EDG punched the ticket of the solo lanes being the key to finding these wins. And they'll continue to stack up the gold as Meiko might not have enough. The turret's not enough either, but they get Yagao out of the side lane, but BLG have a little bit of reinforcements here, followed up by the Heimerdinger graph. Oh no, it's looking like another kill going over. On gets it, hook shot out, Ala makes it out. Curtain call coming through, Elk has hit his cleanse as the heal for the Riders. Oh my god, Elk, he has to flash. That fourth shot was available and ready. EDG just putting on the pressure. You thought it was BLG with the poke game.
Well, let's see what EDG can do, because they feel very happy to move forward. BLG, yeah, I'm still at a little bit of less words, Mazel. I'm not gonna lie, but the fight still unfolds positively for EDG after two very interesting approaches from BLG and the two towers of themselves. Very, very happily. I agree with you. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage coming out of
FoFo wants it. Okay, he's like,
he's so happy.
I know we might have had some conversations last year, but I'm going to take you down this time around, all right? But it is just that strength for FoFo in the side lane. He is on 10 stacks of his Dark Seal. He's got 2 items. He wants to make this advantage known, as the combo of him and Nala is just downright terrifying at this point.
Yeah, I was wondering if Bin hit the ghost button early because he was afraid of getting all in. It was actually because there was Arla rotating down towards the bottom side as well. But FoFo 703, 2 items, 10 stacks on the Dark Seal. Arla probably basing for his Ravenous Hydra at 20 minutes. We hit on what we wanted the win conditions to be for EDG, and they were very, very simple. FoFo, Arla ahead, dive the poke champions. BLG just had to kind of play at arm's length, as you would with a poke bomb, and they've not managed to do that.
Oh my god, he just gets hit by everything! Oh, you bait him out with it. Oh, okay. So close.
But it's still
so
crazy to think
close.
that leaves force shot dealt 415 damage to a full HP touch. That's how strong it is at the moment.
Just having that union is completed. It's the wait on that second item completion for him. That mirror mana is going to be big. Shun's not able to find the damage with the spears just yet, and that's the finickiness of the Nidalee. They're going all in though with that all out as Ben gets the kill on the leave. But it is just leave, and he's playing the very utility-focused Jhin this game.
Yeah, that was really unlucky for Leave. I'm not sure if you guys caught that. He flashed away, but unfortunately the channel began on Bin's ultimate, so it just dragged him right back. It didn't even, it's worse than getting hit back by a thundering blow from Jayce. He just gets removed entirely from where he wanted to be. Look at the replay. It's quite unfortunate actually. It's just one of those things that's very finicky because the Ksante ultimate had no chance. But Flash Away comes in, but ultimate starts. Oh, man! Yeah. Gotta feel bad about that, to be honest with you. Because Bye-bye.
SpaghettiOs!
Hey, there's a big O on the floor because of the shroud.
Yeah, see, there you go. It all works out. The script writes itself. Though, Elk is no longer going to have fun in this game. If FoFo could just do that every time he sees him, then this game is going to be an easy win for
Mazel.
They know that, and they're pushing onto the Baron.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't know if Elk has been having fun this game already. So
True.
I don't know if it's fun or when it's supposed to begin, but this is a Baron start.
Man, such a big nature's grab. Shun can't get over the pin, and he does too little, too late. Ala pulls in the backside over here. Shun is already down, and EDG have come away with everything they wanted and more. Yeah, and they can just go to the dragon if they want it. They can push into the mid lane tower if they want it. Oh, it's so heavy. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right now, EDG are just ahead, playing simple. They can smack BLG with their wallets. Get this tower, and they'll likely just go and get the dragon recess, and then make their pressure felt on the rest of the map. BLG, I think we've got the time to talk about it, Mazel. It was just that deep play back to back, which has set them so far behind. The catastrophic part is they did get some of that productivity we want to see early on, but it's the transition into the mid game that hasn't gone their way. And now that EDG has so much control and so much lead, there's really no hope in a lot of these big team fights. That hope is not nearly going to do as much as you want it to do. No, it's not. Thing with a poke composition, like, you kind of need to be more or less item parity, otherwise the poke just doesn't matter. And at this point, even though if you're being pedantic, despite the 7k gold fee, take a look at the item completions. They're actually even. Everyone, well, actually, I guess the gap is in the jungle for now. Shun doesn't have a second item, but he's very close to it. I think he's going to get it now. So in terms of like complete items, the game's not actually in a terrible state. The unfortunate scenario is that FoFo and Arla, when they die, will likely not be able to be stopped just compositionally because of the fact they've got access to these items so early on. There's no response to Arla. He's literally just free hitting the side lead right now this whole time. Yagao is finally going to go over that side, but now that leaves mid lane exposed. Oh my god, that Nature's Grasp by itself just did so much damage to Elk. They're trying to take down this outer, or this tier 2 tower, at least to the mid lane. Leave will do exactly that. It does fall. Now to the side lanes for EDG.
Yep, very happy to just sit in this 4-1 position, try and allow Yagao to hold on to Arla, but he's got 2 items. Arla might consider diving. It looks like he's going to rotate. Bin was looking for a hold there. Now the curveball's here.
Bin has put on the Chad face as Lee taking a bunch of damage there. That piercing arrow in the end, almost doing enough. Elk trying to get a little bit of answer back. Ala though, he might get answered to himself. Getting chased down, but the rest of EDG were right around the corner to save the day.
Just about, and EDG, it looks like they're just going to burn up the rest of their Baron time. Go for a reset, fast one. Look for what gold they can spend. Third item completed there, leave. The Eclipse, Crit Cloak. Very, very powerful. FoFo looking for the Zhonyas, it looks like, as a third item, likely a final if we carry on the pace we're going. But BLG, I guess you can definitely say, successful Baron defense, right? Especially with how the state of the game feels. But again, when you kind of sit back, take a look at the items, the deficit isn't as bad as it certainly could be or feel like. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If EDG win one more fight, they will probably win the game.
It's on the precipice. We're on a very, very tall cliff.
Exactly. But item-wise, BLG can still contest. It's just, it would be wise to not, you know, and just try and sit back and
a lot of the times in these poke situations, you're letting the enemy team get into position around the objectives, and then you're trying to poke them down and then move in once they're a little bit lower. Do you still feel like that's the attempt here for BLG? I mean, is that the only way in against EDG?
I feel like when you're behind, that's how it has to be played. When you're ahead, you can actually press the issue, right? So I guess, yeah, Mazel, you're just right. Like, they have to kind of just let EDG take position and hope that they can land, you know, poke that matters, i.e. poke Rizky onto Lee, onto Meiko, onto Jiejie, though he is, you know, going into that more tank hybrid build where you've got the Radiant Virtue, so you get, at the very least, a couple of baseline resistances to work with. So, yeah, just getting meaningful poke onto the carries of EDG who aren't diving on your face is really critical to your success. The issue is, it just feels like BLG have never been set up for that. Even though they've got the composition for it, when have we seen EDG be in the river on an objective and BLG are all their full HP, full resources to actually poke them off it? Which doesn't happen. Yeah. And I think EDG just have a really good read on the fact that that's kind of the only way BLG can play the game. So if we can break that up before it happens, life is just easy. And so far this game has been easy for EDG.
Yeah, and another little point that I feel like might come into the fold a little bit more. Obviously, we put so much focus on the solo lanes, but another interesting fact is that, okay, I guess we're going to fight bot lane. You know, he has been a little bit extended here. The Nature's Grasp coming across from Jiejie, ultimate use. What I was going to say is we don't have that tried and true traditional late game AD carry scaling, right? We don't have the Zeri in this one. We don't have the Sivir. And it's a very different approach that's working into the favor, I feel like, of both teams at this point. But now EDG with a lot of setup themselves with the lead they've gotten.
Yeah, agreed. No traditional AD carry might make the scaling a little bit wonky, shall we say. As EDG, it feels like they've taken their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. They're not really, well.
It's all gas, no brakes in the top side. Ala is going in. He gets taken out. Oh my God, that was such a zealous flash. And Elk gladly picks up the gold.
Yeah, Elk is going to be very, very happy to pick up that shutdown for sure. As Dragon is slowly being picked up by Jiejie on the bottom side, so this is just 3 members of EDG. Meiko picks up that kill credit. And they get everything they need. They do lose Ala, who just kind of oversteps. He's bought a stopwatch because he wants to rewind time.
He thought he was bigger with the whole breaker, okay? You know, you buy that item, you see those stats, you're like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah, what actually happened is someone on EDG got too close to Ala. He lost the resistances, so he died. Yes, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
But that's what it was. Anyway, TP should be back here for Ala. No, he doesn't.
Oh God, FoFo has found it.
Yeah, that's what's back. So,
Baron down to EDG as they get out with that one. BLG were in space to contest, but don't do so, and that'll be an objective secured. gold lead continued to grow. And we look at the top lane fight.
Yeah, so, you know, Arla just kind of knows he can kill Yagao at this stage of the game. Hexacore man keeps Yagao not found, flash away. Unfortunately, Shun is in the way. Flash. It's muscle memory, so he feels like that's the timing he needs on it, but he's already hit Shun, so it kind of doesn't matter. And he does, so he
gets both health bars really low at least, all right?
Yeah, true. But he dies. And alright, you know what? Super optimistic. His death got EDG back. How about that?
There you go. There's that positive spin. I see you've been visiting the Mazel's Hopium Emporium.
Oh,
we do see
it's really good.
It's really nice. Ala on the side, though, again, he does have that hold breaker, taking on a 1v3. And On now the target here. Oh my God! On left out, taking out EDG with the opened up curtains. Leave trying to put the lead on this show. We'll see fourth shot hits Shun. Back off is BLG and destroy the base of BLG and EDG.
Lee just said, get the hell off my wall with that fourth shot. 1k into Shun's back, and now they've broken the first Nexus tower. Mazel, I think they want to end a game. I think they've had enough of this one.
I think they do. They got a minute and 15 on the Baron buffs and not much will for BLG left. One last engage. This is it. FoFo wants to find it, but BLG have no hope left. They have no stake in this game. And a 2-0 smashing victory from Edward Gaming.
Huge win from EDG. 2-0.
That man right there, though. FoFo, with that performance on the Akali, with this performance of this series against his old org last year on BLG, feels good, man.
Exactly. And I was actually saying earlier, I didn't exactly want to call it a grudge match, but it's one of those things. Players always feel that pride. They go against their old team, they want to win, you know? Doesn't matter what the circumstances are.
Even
why
if it's just
they left the team.
left.
Yeah. You know? Exactly, right? So, always going to feel very, very good for FoFo in particular, but a feel-good win in general for EDG. Just, again, taking out another opponent who should